Yeah, it's all funky and laid back and profitable and stuff. Ron Paul is winning. Simple. Subscribe, please. And also, thanks for all the people that are subscribing to Crouton Ramon's House of Math and being blown away. Told you. Told you. You got young kids? Check it out. But this is about Ron Paul. Okay, so first off, you whining crybabies. He's scooping delegates like crazy. And not state delegates that are going to elect delegates, but the actual delegates that are going to show up at the Republican National Convention. It's to the point now where it's looking very much like it's either going to be brokered or he might win the damn thing outright. Now, they have drummed it into your head consistently. He can't win, he can't win, he can't win in the first ballot. Romney's the presumptive candidate. No, Romney is the pretentious candidate, but he's not the presumptive candidate because Ron Paul has more delegates in Iowa than Romney. Well, right now he has at least half of them, 14. And those are confirmed. Same thing in Minnesota. He has at least half. Same thing in between Santorum and Ron Paul in Colorado. He has more than Romney. Do you understand? More. And state after state, it's going to go this way. And places where they totally try to rig it, where the delegates go there, and then the vote for the delegates for the Republican National Convention have already been decided. Like, okay, you get to vote for all these Romney guys, right? Basically taking the power of the selection process away from the delegates. There is going to be some hell to pay in places like Alaska. I mean, anyway, when they break the rules, there are repercussions for breaking the rules, and you got it on videotape. So see, they can steal all the voting that they want. They can rig all the voting machines and steal all the caucuses and primaries they want, but they can't steal the delegates. Do you get it? They cannot steal the delegates because too many of those people will show up, nominate each other, become delegates, and this is the other thing that they're not covering, is that the Republican Party is being absolutely transformed. There are guys like me in the Republican Party now. Do you understand? I am a card-carrying, well, I'm not a card-carrying, but I am registered Republican. It still makes me joke. Anyway, but I had to in order to vote for Ron Paul in the primary. But do you know how many guys there are out there like me? And do you know how many guys that are conservative and want freedom and liberty and the Constitution that are stepping into positions of power in the Republican Party at the state level all over the place? They are never going to be able to put a statist person like Romney in again, ever. Because all these people are the more libertarian-leaning, small government, small party, Tea Partiers, etc., right? And what's Tea Party stand for? Tax enough already. The Tea Party and the Wall Street people, the Occupy Wall Street people, are birds of a feather. You guys are on the same damn team, except for the powers that be have still been able to separate you and make you feel like, you know, this paradigm of left and right. But you guys are on the same team, right? And you have to get to the point where you understand there's no left-right anymore. It's us against them, guys. And them is doing ridiculous things with NDAA and, you know, Patriot Act renewals and the TSA and the airports and the FDA and the EPA and just name it. And the IRS still just riding roughshod over your rights and have been for the longest time. And who's this guy that's coming along and saying we're going to get rid of all that and change everything? Ron Paul. Actual change. And notice how he's not just Mr. McHopey Changey Pants talking about change and change. And he actually tells you what it is he's going to do. Right? Cut $1 trillion. Cut these agencies. Repeal these executive orders that are unconstitutional. Nullify. I mean, he's not going in there to make more laws and make your life miserable and to, allow the corporations to take over and, get rid of all the regulations so that these guys can, just have free reign. Because if he was, do you think the corporations would be happy about that and support him and make it so that the mainstream media actually covered him? I mean, just use your common sense and reasoning. Of course they don't want him in there because that's exactly not what's going to happen. That's not what he wants. He wants to hold these guys accountable. He wants to hold corporations accountable. He wants to end these bailouts and the corporate welfare that goes on every day from the government to the corporations with your tax dollars. Okay, so now there's so much to cover I can't even begin to get into it. And let's see here, I've only gone 5 minutes. Maybe I should just stop and just say, you know what, use the damn links. Look at all these links. And I can just cover them very, very briefly. I'll just go left to right. I've got a bunch of tabs open. EPA, we got a problem with radiation. What are they going to do? Raise the limits, raise the safe limits. That's their solution. And we take an audit of the EPA's radiation detection equipment, and it's either non-functioning or broken. They don't want to know. They don't want you to know. And again, math. When it comes to the nuclear problem, we're the only way to fix that is with boatloads of engineers. And it's going to be a problem that's with us for centuries unless we figure out a few things here very rapidly. So there's the great article in the Activist Post, 10 important issues that only Ron Paul is covering. And I'd say that they need to put H.R. 347 in there also along with the NDAA and the Patriot Act, because it is now a felony offense to use your First Amendment rights. If the Secret Service is on property, they can arrest you if they want to. And people like Ron Paul supporters know about this, but others, they're blissfully ignorant. How about the whistleblowers? Obama has prosecuted more whistleblowers than all the other presidents combined. Chew on that. And he was supposed to be transparency. How do you get transparency without whistleblowers? How do you get transparency without people stepping forward and exposing the stuff that's going on that's wrong in our government? And they compare the reprisals from the Bush and Obama, and Obama is worse than Bush. Let's just put it that way in a nutshell. Anyway, link after link after link. Now, people are like, why are you so against Obama? Well, from day one, I should have got this bumper sticker and put it on my car right next to my Ron Paul 2008 bumper sticker, but it was $7, and at the time I didn't feel like spending $7 for a bumper sticker, but I should have, because I would have had the greatest "I told you so" ever, because it was a picture of Obama, and the caption was, "Obama, you're going to be very disappointed," and they are. But they still are trying to say that Obama would be better than whoever the Republican is, because Democrats are better than Republicans, right? And a lot of the black community, wake up! You guys are being thrown in jail for a few joints, and Obama's all over that. He has the power to rein in the DEA and the FDA, and he doesn't do it. Grandma's getting thrown in prison, basically breaking down doors in states where it's illegal. Where it's legal, because he's saying that the federal government has more say than what goes on in your state. States' rights. What side of the issue are you on? Right? Well, we know where Obama stands. But the main thing is torture. I was a part of a group of people that was trying to investigate and give money and get lawyers together to go after the Bush administration for torture. Rape and murder and torture of children in Iraq. This is not the 24 that all you guys were sold, like, oh, we're torturing guys because they've got nuclear weapons that are going to explode, right? These mushroom clouds that would be the evidence. They didn't have any nuclear weapons. They didn't have any suitcase nukes. There wasn't anybody to torture that they were worried they're going to have a nuke go off in New York. That's not what happened. What happened was children in Iraq were being tortured. Children! Makes me so mad it makes me want to spit. And you guys just look the other way. And then when we were trying to get, how far up did this go? And it turns out it went all the way up. These orders went all the way up. And these guys like Wu and so forth trying to say that, it wasn't torture, that it was just enhanced interrogation. Now, torture is torture, and it's against the law. It's against our Constitution. It's against the Christian ideal. I'm not even a Christian. It's against the American way. It's against humanity. And you guys couldn't. It makes me sick. We put people to death in the United States for doing the same damn things that happened in Iraq and probably in Afghanistan, but not even an investigation. Obama blocks the investigation, right? We got to look forward. Done. I'm done with him, right there. And then after that, see, and it makes me angry. And you can't get angry. All it does is give you wrinkles. There's no point. But it's just ill. These guys got away with it. We got a few low-level, like a couple of private and sergeants, like there's no chain of command, like these guys were acting on their own, that it didn't go up the chain of command, right? And they were taking photos, which is more evidence that they knew that they were under orders and that it was okay, because people aren't that stupid. And anyway, And from that day forward, when he laid down the law and basically said, nope, there will be no prosecution, we're going to look forward, and Bush and that ilk went free. Done with him. Done. Now, he's done just since then. The Constitution has been under constant attack. The extrajudicial killings and the National Defense Authorization Act, right there should have been enough. But no, Patriot Act, no. I mean, there's more and more coming, right? NDRP, where the Resource Protection Act, basically all your stuff is ours. That they look at Snopes and look at all the media trying to sell you that that's no big deal, right? But look at the wording that got changed. It doesn't have to be under emergency, no emergency at all, and the president now can say, and Obama can say, and it could be true that I would never use these powers. Well, some president in the future may use those powers. They shouldn't be there in the first damn place, and Ron Paul is talking about repealing them. The only one talking. Romney's not talking about repealing them. Gingrich isn't talking about repealing them. Neither was Santorum, right? If Ron Paul's the only guy saying that he's not smart enough to run your life for you. All these other guys are happy to they will govern you, and they are happy to run your life for you, and to extract as much money from you as possible and hand it to their crony friends. Now, if you can't see the difference between Ron Paul and where there is actual, and he's not so simple that he just tries to run on the slogan, hope and change. Yeah, change. But you think that there would be massive change if Ron Paul got in there? There would be. Now, use these links and go out there and slaughter what's left of the Obama faithful. Just make them look like the ridiculous buffoons that they are. Because this man, it needs to get the hell out of office. And it's not because he's black. It's because he's wrong. It's not because of the birth certificate or the Kenyan thing. None of that matters to me. It's because he's wrong. And it's not left and right. It's not Republican, Democrat. Morally, this man is bankrupt. Morally, and when it comes to upholding the Constitution, our constitutional scholar is ridiculous. And when it comes to when it comes to upholding the Constitution, which is the highest office in the land, and the oath that he swore, he has broken that oath repeatedly in front of you constantly. And when it comes to war, just by any metric, this man is an abysmal failure. And he needs to get out of office. Right? Saying that I should be forced to buy health care, that this is his plan, that he makes insurance affordable for all. I don't need affordable insurance. I need affordable medical care. We need to address that problem at the source. But no, they co-opted that law, and the insurance companies benefited mightily from having this man in office. But when it comes at whatever they gave him a peace prize, and he's trying to create war with Syria, went into Libya with no authorization whatsoever. He's got Panetta and these other guys in front of Congress basically telling us that they don't need congressional approval to go to war, and that the president can protect the country, right? That he's protecting us, taking our military into harm's way without the consent of the people who make up that military. And you guys still want to vote for this guy? You make me ill. Anyway, like I said, alright, I got about a minute to go here. I'm sorry, but it's ridiculous. It's just painfully ridiculous what's going on in our nation right now. And the President of the United States, it's just sad. Alright. Get your nose to the grindstone and go to work for Ron Paul. The whole strategy, what they're trying to do is mindfuck you into thinking that he can't win, and that he can't win on the first vote, and that it has to be a brokered convention, and so forth. So what they're trying to do is make it so that you don't work hard now. So that it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that we have to go to a third-party thing. Whereas if you just go to work right now, you can get out there and get money for Ron Paul. Like, I've probably raised $300, $300 easily, just making phone calls to people that are like, hey, you didn't go vote, you say you're a Ron Paul supporter, donate $5. And a lot of them donated $20 or whatever, because I just, called them up and said, see how many of your friends are like that. How many people that just, they're all for Ron Paul, but they haven't done a damn thing. They go vote for him if he actually made it. Anyway, it takes more than that. Self-government takes more than that. So get out there and work for Ron Paul. The thing isn't over. We got to be a fourth quarter team. I don't even believe this whole thing. I think if anything, we're gaining momentum right now. There's a lot of people saying that they feel like the Ron Paul campaign is losing wind. Nonsense. We're absolutely gaining momentum now with Santorum and all these delegates and so forth. Get out there and get to work for Ron Paul.